Let's take a look at the Distance Accumulation tool, which you'll be using in the lab to generate a raster showing distance from the trail. Here's our trail line, and this is what we're going for. We want a raster where every grid cell is the distance from the trail. So I just clicked on 427. Way out here, 14,000. The units are meters because our input trail is in UTM, which is meters. This will be the first step for the trail distance in our weighted overlay. After we get trail distance, we will reclassify it so that all of the cells a certain distance will be lumped together. If it's too close, it will be no data. If it's just the right distance away from the trail, then it will be a 4. If it's a little farther away, it'll be a 3. If it's out here, it'll be a 1. And if it's too far away completely, then it will be no data. So that is handled in the reclassify tool. But to be able to do this type of reclassify, we need to start with a trail distance layer, where every grid cell is the distance away from our source. The distance accumulation tool is the tool to use for this. And this is a complex tool that can do a lot more than we're doing right now. So all you need to supply for the distance accumulation tool is your input line, which is trail, and supply an output layer name like dist to trail or trail dist or something. All of these other things here apply to different types of distance measurement, which we are not doing right now. And in any tool, if you need to control properties of the output, and this is an important one for distance accumulation, you may need to, and in the lab you will need to, set the extent to force the cells to calculate far enough out. We want our processing extent to be the same as hillshade. What that means is we want the cells to process all the way out to this bounding box of hillshade. If you don't set a processing extent in the distance accumulation tool, then it will only calculate as far as your input layer. So it will get cut off here and here and here, and it would cut it off right at the edge. And we kind of want to allow for a little extra buffer. So you have to force the processing extent to be the extent of whatever layer you want. And then you also want to make sure you set the cell size. We want that to be the same as, in this case, the hillshade, which is 10. We don't need one for this tool in the lab, but you can also apply a mask to make the output be trimmed to a specific shape. And that's a good setting to know how to apply, because you can use that to your advantage to incorporate other boundaries without having to put it truly into the overlay. Once you hit run, it will create this layer right here, which is the distance of every grid cell to the trail. And that's how you use the distance accumulation tool.